Hi there, come on in. I'm Fred Trost, along with Glenn Dutterer and Tom Cooley here. We're out at Rose Lake Wildlife Research Station, and we have a deer here who was brought in a year ago because it was a problem. The type of deer that you'd see behind a fence and say, oh, isn't that cute? Well, you know what happens to a deer when it's been in captivity, like you might want to raise it yourself? We're going to find out in just a moment. We're going to go in the cage with this deer, and it'll surprise you. Well, here he comes.
I'm going to wait around.
Huh? He's not... Well, we're walking in the pen with a deer that was a pet deer that some people found, what, as a fawn last year?
Yeah, they raised him as a fawn, picked him up last summer, and then they had him through the winter.
And we've just been in here just a moment, and already this little buck deer wants to fight. Now, is he fighting or playing, or just what are we doing here?
A little bit of both.
Boy, I tell you, these, just the burr. Ooh. This, I was going to do 3 minutes in here, guys. And I don't know if we're going to make it or not. This is, when we've come into this cage just a few minutes before to see how the deer would respond, and he was a lot more friendly then, but he looks like he's using his feet a little bit.
Yeah. And the other thing, Fred, you notice how when he pushes, he turns his head. He's trying to push you aside.
Uh-oh, let's see if we get a shot of this. He's coming after the cameraman.
And what I'm afraid of is he's pushing and you're pushing, he twists, and he slips by you, and one of those horns catches you just below the crotch, you know.
Yeah, you could get a bad leg injury from this. The patches on the hair, people are going to wonder about that.
Right.
This is a research station out here, and you've done something with a collar on it?
Right, he's been part of a research project. It's a remote blood sensing apparatus, and it's a saddle, and it sets on his shoulders. And what it did is it rubbed off the summer coat. You can see he's getting his winter coat underneath there.
Well, right now the cameraman is more concerned with running into this $40,000 camera. But we're trying to make the point here, folks, that this deer is nothing to mess with. This is like bullfighting. I'm trying to keep him so his tines. Now, they're somewhat in the velvet, but yeah, I don't, if you put it, it's not too comfortable any way you cut it. I'll tell you what, why don't we cut this short? Seriously, this is a pet deer. It was a pet deer, and in the fall, it takes on a characteristic which we're not in the fall yet.
No, this deer's got some time to go yet. It's not even in rut. It's got another month, Tom, before it starts into full rut.
Right.
And this is a yearling.
Yeah, you'll be a year and a half this fall.
You know what, I got to admit, I'm a bit shaken up here from the pressure. You know, you try to look kind of calm on camera.
Excuse me, I'm not going to turn my back on this fella.
Well, I guess he wants to go his own way now, but the point is that deer like this, if let go and turned loose, can create problems.
Well, when we picked this deer up, a lot of the people in the neighborhood weren't very happy about us picking it up. But it was because of the concern for children and people that we picked the thing up. And you can see, he's not much of a pet, really.
No, he isn't. See what happens here. See, he could come out to... He was bothering kids.
Yeah, he had followed some home from school. That was the report we got. He was also picked up on the highway once and taken back home.
Oh, look how he uses these tines and gouges with them. Now, these are fairly soft now, these tines, compared with... That's it. That's it. We're going now. I tell you what, we're going to slip out of this cage, and we're going to get on with... Let's move it. That's nothing to mess with.